Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is obviously where I do all my videos whenever it's like a serious talk. I don't understand why it's a terrible background, but we're gonna go with it for a little bit. So I've been creating these like sit down videos to kind of answer the questions that I've gotten recently. On my blog I have places where you can send in questions for either my podcast or this YouTube channel. And I've gotten a lot of questions about my health, what I do. That's how come I'm starting to incorporate what I eat in a day, because I love food. Obviously, I have a whole podcast about it. I went to school for it. I love food. And so I thought I would incorporate that on this channel. And so a lot of you guys have had questions about what I eat, my diet, everything like that. So I don't follow any specific diet at all. I pretty much eat whatever I want. I eat fast food if I want that. I don't eat fast food if I want that. I literally just do whatever I want. And that is the first thing that I just wanted to mention. And second thing is that I'm not a dietitian. I don't know anything. I mean, I know I can come up with diets and like know kind of what you're getting out of it and if it's going to be healthy or not. But I am not a registered dietitian. I don't have any sort of like medical field background. I only know food science, food safety, and sanitation, as well as pretty much anything to do with food science I know. So because of food science, I know how it interacts with my body, but I'm not, again, a registered dietitian, so I'm not going to say that my diet is the perfect diet because I eat fast food as well. So anywho, I just wanted to mention that real quick, just so that we were all on the same page. And that disclaimer will be in every single one of my what I eat in a days, because I do not want people following my diet 100%. I've seen other dietitians rip people apart for their what I eat in a days. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. Oh my gosh. She probably will. She'll probably be like, this is Cassidy. She eats a shitty diet because she eats fries and fruit at the same time. Probably so. It's probably what she's gonna say. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. So let's get into it, shall we? So my diet is, I would say, dairy-free and gluten-free. I try to make sure that those two things happen. Everything else I eat in the day just kind of falls in between. I eat meat, I eat vegetables. Sometimes I feel like just eating plant-based, and sometimes I feel like eating a plethora of meat and like sausage and ham and all the things like that. Sometimes I just feel like that. It just kind of depends on my mood, my week that I feel like. For the most part, I do still eat plant-based, but whenever I'm with family or friends or something like that, I always kind of just eat whatever's there because I don't really care. Like, I love food and I'll eat whatever. So that's kind of my diet, I guess you could say. I don't really follow anything. I prefer plant-based, but I'm not one to be like, this is what I need to do, because I tried doing that before and it didn't feel right, and I don't really like it, and it kind of ruins some of my health. So I still eat eggs and I still eat meat, and I still do that every now and then. I just don't eat it all the time. And what else? Oh, and I have eczema, or not eczema, but eczema-like rashes on my body, and I get them on my legs, my arms, and my face. And since eating a very like non-dairy, non-gluten diet, they have gone away. So I will attribute that to the diet. My mom told me about it. I mean, I kind of knew about it before, but then now, after my mom sent me a post about someone that did that and like how it changed their lives. Well, not changed their lives, but changed their body, which can change your life. I decided to do it, and it's like honestly helped so much. Like, I wish maybe I'll find a picture and I can like insert it of what it actually looked like. But this is like so much better. Like, so much better. I know my arms are super white, so you're probably not gonna be able to see anything, but it looks so much better. So what are my thoughts on health? I don't, again, follow any specific diet, any specific regimen of working out. I do work out, I do eat healthy. Those are the two main things that I focus on. I focus on whole wellness. So what that means for me is mind, body, and soul wellness. Whenever I feed my body, I want it to be able to fuel me for what I need to do throughout the day. And then my mental health is so important, and with mental health, my relationship health is really important. Basically anything that can affect my mental health, I strive to be as healthy as possible in those areas. So my relationships, I try to have great relationships with people. I strive to really focus on relationships and focus on my mental space and how I can control what filters into my mind. So I don't watch a lot of news because it's very depressing. I don't watch a lot of this or that. I do still know what's going on in the world, but I don't like just focus on that, because otherwise it screws up my mental health, and I hate it, and I just feel like poop. Another thing I do every morning is I do a devotional. I post it every single morning just so that way I make sure that I do it. And that has helped my mental health tremendously. So if you want a video on like kind of like my morning routine and how I do that, let me know. Essential oils have had a really important impact on my mental health. I don't really know why. Eating lots of plants and vegetables and fruit and eating healthy has helped my mental health, which is why I say whole wellness, because everything kind of like works together. Supplementing has helped my mental health a lot. Supplementing with like the right minerals and basically just minerals, because I was really iron deficient and I didn't know about it, and that's how come I had such terrible mental health. And now it still is a struggle sometimes, but it's not like where I'm depressed every day and want to cry every day, so that's good. And let's see what else. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of all the things that I do that's kind of like magical. I cut out a lot of sugar out of my diet. I still eat a lot of sugar, but it's more like plant sugar and like plant sugar and animal product sugar instead of like refined sugars, if that makes sense. So I really enjoy that, and that has helped my body out a ton. In college, I had the worst health possible, I'm pretty sure. I think everyone does in college, honestly. Well, not my whole entire time in college, but just my first 2 years in college, or really like a year and a half. I pretty much just ate whatever, because I was like drinking a lot, and like, you know, whenever you drink a lot, then you go to Whataburger and then you eat like all the food, and then you go home and then you eat like snacks after you drink, and then you also eat something like super fatty before you go, so that way the alcohol like sticks to it, whatever. I did that for a really long time, or not a really long time, it was honestly like a year and a half. Like, it wasn't that long, but like that year and a half felt like years. And I pretty much just did whatever I wanted to, and my body kind of suffered during that time because I gained some weight, because I was eating like that. I had the worst mental health because I was just drinking all the time and partying and doing whatever. And then I also wasn't really like putting anything into my body that was actually going to help it during that time. So I kind of went through like a little like phase, I guess. It's not a phase, but it's like what you do in college sometimes. Like, you're gonna experiment, you're gonna try things. It's just kind of how college goes, and which I want to make a whole nother video on. But my health specifically went down a little bit. I think everyone does in college. Like, everyone's body kind of does that in college, because you feel like you're resilient, and so you just kind of do whatever you want. Anyways, so during that time, after that year and a half, I cleaned up my diet. I literally went full-fledged vegan. I believed in the veganism path. I loved it. I went and cut out pretty much everything. I wouldn't say vegan. Okay, back up a second. Right before I went vegan, I went and had like smoothies every single day. I ate an abundance of fruit, an abundance of like animal products, an abundance of everything. And then I went full-fledged vegan just to kind of like get the extra stuff in my body that I didn't want in my body out of it. It was kind of like a detox for me. I drank detox tea. I got rid of like all the extra things that I feel like were just negatively impacting my body. During this time, I also let go of friends that were a negative impact on my mental health. I let go of places that I was at of my mental health. And that meant moving for me. That meant losing friends. That meant not going to social events that I knew that was going to lead to other things. That made me find happiness in where I was at in the simplicity of life. I also got a cat during this time, and I also got plants to take care of. I know that sounds kind of like someone getting out of rehab, which I guess it kind of was for me. I was kind of like learning how to be more of a normal person instead of like drinking and partying and stuff. So that was a whole transformative portion of my life. I started getting healthy. I started working out. I never did it consistently, but I did like work out. I did yoga. I did a lot of yoga. I really took the time to be a healthier person. And throughout this process, I have changed up some of my supplements. Right now, I'm at a perfect supplement regimen, and I love it. But before then, I was kind of like trial and error, like all of it. And then I went vegan, and then I believed in the veganism path. I believed in the health portion of it. I believed in animals not having to suffer and all the things like that. But then I pretty much backtracked on that just a little bit because I realized like it's not very sustainable for me. It's just sustainable for people. Like, people can definitely do it and have a healthy, balanced diet, but it's not sustainable for me. I had to kind of cut that out because I was low in iron, like very low in iron, and so I had to kind of build that up by eating red meat, eggs, and all the things like that. All the things that I cut out, I pretty much had to incorporate back in besides cheese. I never really was a fan of cheese. I still am not really a fan of cheese. I don't know how people like cheese. It's just not my favorite. And then like the creamers that I put in there, I could keep and all the different things like that. But anyways, I had to kind of like figure that out while I was figuring out a really good diet for me that was iron rich and a good source of protein, all the things like that. Sorry, I have allergies. So I had to kind of incorporate that all back in. And then I would say right after that is whenever I became more plant-based than animal products. I would say right now, like let's say Monday through Friday. In a Monday through Friday block, I probably eat meat about 2 times a week, maybe 3. That's normally whenever I'm with my mom or my dad because they eat a lot of meat, and I just kind of go with it. I don't really care. Like, it's not a really like big like ethical concern for me, so I just kind of like eat it. I don't really care. And ribs, I mean, I still like my dad's ribs, so I'll probably eat it until he doesn't make it anymore. But like doing stuff like that. But like on a normal week, I normally just eat meat like maybe like twice a week, and I eat eggs often. I wouldn't say every morning, but I eat it like every other morning, just to maintain my iron levels. I realize that that's the best diet for me. I still eat plenty of plant proteins, plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, plenty of everything that's healthy. I eat a lot of plant-based stuff still. I don't just eat meat, but I do realize that I do need meat in my diet, and I will keep it in my diet. And I do realize that I need like eggs in my diet because it's a great source of B12, vitamins, and all the things like that. And it feels right in my body, and so that's just what I do. And I encourage you to empower you to take the time to empower yourself, find what diet works for you, work out, and during that time of like you not knowing what you're doing, love it, enjoy it, spend time in it, and like soak it all in. Because you know what? You're gonna then become a healthier person. Then you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, that was a great plan, right? Like, that was great. That's what you need to do. So that is my diet as of now. Some weeks I eat more meat, and then some weeks I don't. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling, honestly. Like, I guess I'm an intuitive eater is what they call it. I watched so many of these videos before I made this one, so that way I knew the proper terms to use because I didn't want people to pick me apart. But I believe it's called intuitive eating, and I just kind of do that. And I guess I also intermittent fast because naturally I don't eat food early in the morning. Like, naturally I eat like a small bowl of fruit or a small bowl of something, or like just an egg or something. And then later on in the day, around like 10 o'clock, I always get hungry every single day at 10 o'clock, and that's whenever I eat like my breakfast, and I bring that with me to work. And then like that morning time before I go in, I need fuel because I'm lifting stuff, I'm lifting heavy things, I'm moving things around, and I'm walking a lot, and so I need some like fuel. So I eat like some fruit and like some peanut butter, nut butter thing, and then I like don't do anything for a while. And then right around 10 o'clock I eat like my actual breakfast, and that just works for me. My fiance has to eat breakfast at like 6 in the morning or something, like right whenever he wakes up. He has to eat his breakfast early in the morning. If he wakes up late, he just doesn't eat breakfast. I don't know. I can't relate. But that's what he does, and he like genuinely likes to have an early breakfast, and I prefer to have a late breakfast. Anyways, that's just side notes. But that's kind of like my diet as of now. Now, fitness wise, I always kind of like worked out. I've always been into like really like into the health realm of things. I never really went to like the gym. That wasn't like a thing I enjoyed. I just like playing tennis and in high school, and I like playing tennis in college, and I like just kind of like doing my own thing. I never really had like a specific regimen, specific anything. And then I watched Bianca Franco. She honestly I attribute my health and fitness, not my health and fitness, but just my fitness journey to her, because she inspired me a lot. She is an amazing inspirer for fitness. Highly suggest it. Anyways, she helped me realize how important fitness is. And that got me into a whole like Pandora's box of fitness. And then it was kind of weird because right after that, I feel like God was kind of leading me to this, honestly, because I was sick, right? Okay, so I was like deathly ill for a little bit, like 3 days. Like really sick. Like I didn't like move from my couch at all. Like I felt terrible. Anyways, during that moment, I found her videos like sporadically, and I started watching them, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And then right after that, somewhere in there, I got the Beachbody kit, and right now I have not looked back on my health at all. I mean, like with working out and stuff. Some days I don't work out because it just doesn't work with my schedule, because I work some really weird hours and stuff. So eventually I would like to make sure I can work out every single day, but right now my goal is like 4 days a week, and that's kind of where I stay right now. I use Beachbody. I like it because I don't have to come up with my own. That's the thing that I never was good at, was figuring out like what I need to do and like how I need to work out. So Beachbody's helped me with that, because I basically just go on there and I click whichever one I want and I use it. And then I also use their products, like there's Shakeology and their plant-based like Energizer, because I used to drink energy drinks. Because if you work in a grocery store, it's just kind of like what you do. It's just like how it works. It's just because you need more energy than it's humanly possible, which I still can't wrap my mind around. But there's no way that you can have as much energy as you need in a grocery store at all. Like there's no way. So I just wanted to mention that. But so where was I going with that? Oh, so I use their energy like powders, and it's like basically like a pre-workout, and I use it for like pretty much any time that I need a little extra boost, and it helps me a lot. I still drink my coffee. I cut out coffee for a while because I heard that it inhibited the absorption of iron. So during that time I just drink either like decaf, or I just drink those like pre-workout drinks or whatever. I call it my liquid encouragement, and it is honestly one of the best things ever. I love it. But anyways, so now I do drink coffee. I try to make it more of a treat than just like I need to drink this coffee. Like if I have time in the morning, I will drink coffee. If I don't have time in the morning, I'll just drink the pre-workout and I will be fine. That's just kind of like what I do. And it just works for me, because then coffee is like a special treat for me. And then I can also help iron absorption levels, and I can make my supplements kind of work for me with my work schedule and different things like that. So anyways, The next question I got was, do I supplement? Yes, of course. There's no way, well, in my mind and through my research, I just don't think there is a way that you can get every single thing you need from either plants or your meat products. I think that we need to all kind of like help our bodies get through this, because the environment that we live in right now is very, like, I wouldn't say toxic, but it is toxic. It's just it's just not good for your mental health or your physical health. There's a lot of different things kind of hitting in all at once, and your body just needs some extra help, I would say, especially right now. Maybe not like in the past, like in history, but especially like now, because there's so many things that your body is like having to deal with that it just needs a little extra help. That's just what I think. That's just my own opinion through research that's not like scientifically proven. So I just wanted to point that out. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Another thing I wanted to mention is that a lot of you guys have asked me like how much fat, how much protein, how much oil, all things like that. I love fat, I love protein, I love oil, and I include it almost at every single meal. My body just feels best on it. I feel most full, I feel most satisfied, and most satiated by doing that. A lot of people do like, I don't really remember what it's called. It's like called the starch solution, where there's no fat, no oil, no nothing. And that is like your own thing. That's like a specific diet only for, like, I'm telling you, my diet is not going to be best for you unless you have the same metabolism and the same body type and the same deficiencies that I do, which is impossible. So I just wanted to mention that. But I do include lots of fat, lots of oil, and a lot of protein. I have always eaten that way. Ever since high school, I did like a project over like what we eat, and then we tally like how much fat, how much protein, and all that stuff we eat in a day. And I have always had lots of fat, lots of protein, and all of that. And now I eat like lots of carbs because I eat lots of plants, and lots of meat too, but that's more protein than carbs. Anyways, you get my point. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, and some people cut out like carbs and stuff, and I don't. I literally welcome all kinds of food. Like all food I welcome. Unless it's Oreos, because I don't like Oreos, but everything else I pretty much welcome. That's pretty much about my health and fitness journey. I always still strive to be as mentally strive for mental health the best. The most, sorry, not the best. The most. And then my health is also like what I put in my body and what I eat is something super important. And then fitness. That's kind of like my tier of how things go. And overall wellness is just such an important part to be a part of and have in your life. And yeah, that's all I have to say. If you have any more questions, let me know. I know a lot of you have asked me to do a like love story kind of thing with how my fiance and I met. I might do that in another video. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.